Mission 3.
Yeah.
An
Lakeisha looks
antidote
like
for sadness.
Santa and Jupiel or Shin and Jupiel were cut in half and sewn together. I think she looks more like Aerie from the intro, but it's kind of hard. It's really hard to tell.
Pretty rowdy. Did something happen?
She definitely is meant
An angel
to
has passed
evoke
away.
both the
Everyone
angel
has
and
gathered
the
here in
angel
order
and
to
the
pay
devil
our last
sides.
respects.
Is going to work, for
Were they killed?
for Shin.
No. She passed away from an illness. She had been battling the illness for a while, but without a cure, she just...
Yeah, I'm guessing the angels really are just magical humans.
Right. Yeah.
After her death has died in her life,
Is the person
No.
who died also going to
you
be
can
used
say
as an
it
energy
was to say
source?
her body
Right.
or her fate or something like that.
Yes. Just like Meliel.
Juliel.
Juliel shall be utilized to provide energy for the engine core. I too shall be offering my goodbyes to Juliel. What would you like to do, Sir Shin?
I'd better decline. It's not like I knew her or anything.
You could not get God to give a eulogy. I mean, yep. So I guess we there's some stuff called magic cancer as well. That's gotta really keep the numbers down.
Yep.
Oh, Kamikaze. It appears that a crowd is gathering at the plaza.
I'm surprised they have enough
What's
people left
going
for a
on?
crowd after all the.
Only 14 people
Apparently
died.
someone
I
who
mean,
was sick passed away.
I see. Who was it?
Man, I don't even remember.
If I remember correctly, I think Jupiel said her name was Polio.
If I remember correctly.
Oh, her. I see. So she died.
Wonder it. And also noticing with the L names that the angels have, I wonder if Ariel has that because demons have that too, or if
Did you
they
know
actually
her?
took like an angel name for to help integrate or something.
Somewhat. Though I only met her once.
that is a good question because even in things like the Book of Enoch with the Fallen Watchers, a lot of them did keep their angel names with L at the end.
Right.
Apparently
Like,
Jupiel and the other
Samyaziel,
angels
I
are
think,
saying their
was the
final
head of them.
goodbyes. Would you
And of
like
course,
to
you
go
have
too?
all of the weird ones like Azazel and what was it?
As
As
if.
if.
Why would a devil pay her final respects to an angel?
Samael, that was the one I was thinking.
Oh
of.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
planning to go to the plaza to take a mental break. But if it's like that, it'll just make things
Pretty cool
worse.
persona.
I'll just go back to my room.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I guess the devil can't have sympathy for you.
Well, it's not sympathy for an angel. I mean, there we go.
There we go.
Please do your best.
All right, so I am calling it a stream there.
Just in case you hadn't figured it out by the end of that last episode or last mission. Yeah, things are super bad, guys.
Right. And they're even more super bad than you knew.
Right. So
So that was 3 hours and
Almost 4.
40 minutes, and we did 4 dungeons.
if you count the tutorial for
Yes.
it's about 5 to 10 minutes of dungeon per hour.
Yeah.
Wait, gameplay. Oh, wait.
Oh, P-Bug. No. You see that next event thing there? We're not even close to more gameplay.
Right. Yeah, the menu came up, but there's more dialogue.
Y'all don't even know.
So are we doing this again next
See,
week?
that's the thing. Like I said... Yes, Mog, this is the anime game I mentioned.
Okay, if this is going to end up on, I don't know if this is going to end up on YouTube or the Twitch thing or whatever, but my friend Mog, I mentioned this game to her, but she had to leave after, right before we started streaming today to go to a friend's, party. That was like 5 hours ago. we're just now wrapping up. Has there been any gameplay?
There has been a glorious half hour, I think,
I would say about that.
of gameplay in this about 4-hour stream. Glorious half hour of the best roguelike dungeon swing you've ever seen. Like I mentioned earlier, if there is a outcry, like if you all really want to continue going through the visual novel thing and have anime angels and devils and things like that,
then pray to Shin for more.
Pray to me
for more Awakened Fate, more Sleeping Fate Ultimatum.
Yes, if you want more Awakened Fate exposition, then we can totally do that. However, I will be completely honest that is a bit too little of a gameplay to exposition ratio than I could possibly, countenance putting on people unless they really want it. Unintended double entendre, the game is greater than a Resident Evil 0. Lorax requires more. Lord Pooty, unfortunately, does not appear in this. That said, we are currently almost in the state of, was it a San? No, it was a Kosan,
yeah.
A Kosan, that was it. Yes, we have not awakened to our full gelatinous majesty. That said, this game would be so much better with Lord Pooty, I don't even. But that said, Lorax, I will throw this right back at you, seriously now, more, no joking or whatnot. If you really want to see more of this game, I will do it.
And honestly, it's kind of like, we might consider, like, if you want to try to get to more gameplay, because the gameplay hasn't actually gotten interesting yet.
Right. I'll probably speed up the text scroll.
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah, I would say maybe play through a little bit, solo, and see if things actually pick up in the gameplay.
Right.
Yeah, Mog, we were talking about that earlier. That she actually doesn't have solid pupils. It's kind of that weird outline.
Right. Oddly soulless and disturbing. That's actually a good way of putting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking I might just have the brightness and...
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that way too, P-Bug. It seems not great, and not great in an entertaining way.
That is a very euphemistic way of putting it.
Right.
It seems not great. I admire your restraint, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, what was the term that she had used? The literary quality seems unstable at times, shall we say. And while I wait for you all to talk about it, I'll just take a quick look and see.
But for Lorax, it is wrapped around to So Bad It's Good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think what we will do is play a little bit. Oh,
she is.
She is. Mog, you might be old enough to actually know this, and I don't mean like old joke and everything. I made the Betty and Veronica comparison earlier because we have an angel waifu, which is who she is, and we have a devil waifu, who is who the other character is, and nobody else got it. But when does Jesus appear? We are God, P-Buck. That's the problem. I don't think we're going to get any help on that front. But yes, Yamaga. She is a...
Yep, skill spirals.
He is an NPC. We are playing as a... what would you even say? Kind of a... I guess a loser high school protagonist who becomes God.
Yeah.
She knows. Thank you, Mog. She knows. Nobody else did. And Lorax, Darkest Dungeon was completely dead too. That is atypical,
I will admit that I had rolled my eyes a little bit at Archie, finally getting into the, the gay character thing. But yeah, it's still going, and
yep.
It has a sphere grid. No, it has a spiral grid. Ooh.
Well, that's kind of thing, Lorax. Is like that's kind of what I was joking about. Is that I haven't ever read it, for more than like a couple snippets or something. But
oh, it's an angel wing.
That's right.
Ah.
But I just figured that there was still the cultural permeation of having like nice sweet girl next door versus the vamp who is hot and stuff like that, and who do you like more if you have the choice, which is seems pretty clearly what they're going for here.
Right.
You cycle through enough times to have. There we go. Yeah, Mach hasn't even seen Ariel yet. Yeah, that's the other one.
Yep, that is our devil scientist lady.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say, just as a random aside, that how to even put it? I'm really worried about the fact that I could actually go into a situation where I spend 2 hours, of gameplay and quote unquote gameplay, and yeah, exposition is what we get. Huh. He's allowed to be happy in the future Archie comics. He's in the army and married. Interesting. Yeah, I'd only known that he had been introduced.
Yeah. The pluses to the axis have to do something. Maybe it's like a basis +3 and then you add your plus to it. Maybe I have to look that up. We'll have to find some sad sack who has made a proper FAQ for this game.
Yeah, it seems like it really just doesn't do a lot. Oh, that said,
that's one thing we want to show off. Trying to combine whatever item that was we got to the jagged little gem. And what do we do with
the
that?
needle jag gem? Well, for now, I guess I'll go ahead and do it this way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically it is about 80-85% visual novel and some kind of primitive, honestly, roguelike gameplay, where you switch between angel and devil form to. Actually, yeah, you might want to. We're done with the stream now. This is all of this. We're hanging out and everything.
Right.
But if you want to boot up one of the earlier dungeons, you could show Mog that. Oh, you'd have slotted. Okay. Huh.
Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead. I'll save now.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and show off some of the previous dungeon, probably.
If we have any other latecomers still in here, they may not
actually believe that
gameplay.
this actually is a game. Yes, you have a bunch of visual novel exposition, and then you have dungeon stuff.
I'm hoping that with the story starting to pick up with your pathos scenes and it's real bad guys. And
I'm
everything.
hoping that the thing is that they front loaded the exposition
right.
like the bad writers they are, and then
things might actually start happening.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh man, I stole your apple.
How dare he?
Yeah, you've got certain enemies that are angel aspected, and you've got the ones that are
they're basically some are holy and some are vile.
right. That's the term, holy and vile. Right? Much like in D&D, where you have the Vile Darkness and Exalted Deeds.
Oh, I don't have enough SP.
Yeah,
for
it takes
that.
20 SP to do your Hadouken.
There we go.
Remember, double quarter circle forward. Deitized.
So that's thing that happened, but is a JRPG.
It is a JRPG, right. I am never, ever going to forget this whole visual novel, gameplay stuff like that a friend of mine linked me to the Fate Stay
Fate Stay
suffix
Night.
thing.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
LP on Something Awful's LP archive. And I ended up, I made it through a little bit in there. And it's okay, I started bouncing around. There's some cool parts, whatever. And then we got to the chapter where they seriously had rape leeches, and just trying and just spinning hundreds of words leading up to it, and then and I bailed as pretty much as soon as the first CG with those things came up.
It's okay, we see what's going to happen here.
It's guys,
I'm not comfortable where this is going. Even
right.
Dr. Sprawl would not approve of those leeches.
And so I assume this game isn't going there.
It's a little too cutesy and
right.
and soft anime, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
For that,
but yeah, just the fact that the people will do It's loads and loads and loads and loads of exposition and dialogue for terrible things, you know. And Mog thinks we look pretty grumpy. Yeah. Well, Shin is a typical shut-in high school student who became God. He's got a lot of ennui to work through. We'll have to have him hang out with Dr. Sprawling at the Lucas to do that. But now we're at the point with an upgraded weapon that the critical hits are one-shotting things.
Right.
And I remember complaining earlier that it seemed like no matter what you do, it's like enemies are going to take 2 or 3 hits.
Right.
So it's nice to have, those things to be able to take them out. Like armor.
Basically increases damage.
Ah. Oh, cool. Okay, so with that you can actually just...
We can one-shot them with a special move in that.
Very cool. The price of most of your SP, but you're going to get most of your SP back for the next fight.
Sure hope so.
Yeah. I wonder if this is one of those things where, kind of like Persona 4, where the enemies, you have a fixed level, and you'll eventually get diminishing returns on XP or something to keep you from...
I wouldn't be surprised.
Grinding the load.
I need an anti-paralysis or anti-confusion move. That's what I need.
That seems to be the worst one so far, yeah.
Of course, I don't actually have those. I don't. Oh, I do.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Well, let's do that right now.
Yeah.
I am tired of dealing with those stupid things. So yeah, almost everything else I can take care of, but that's just one that I just have no good answers for.
Right. Kind of wish there was a way to automate that and be able to just switch to like the right defensive item for the enemies you're fighting, as long as they're in inventory. Because optimal play at this point would be, it's like, okay, I'm fighting those guys do the anti-confuse, and these guys are the anti-poison.
Right. Yeah, that would be the best way to do it.
What are we trying to find in the dungeon? The original reason we were here, this was the
Devil Commune.
Yeah, we captured some kind of demon, officer, and wanted to investigate his mind, and found out that it was full of tales of woe and how he missed his family.
Yes, that he was a family devil.
Right.
And so forth.
Yeah, and as a result, Shin was incapable of executing him, and then he killed somebody anyway in his big escape.
Right.
Because it's a very light and cheerful kind of game. But yeah, basically each of the levels have had basically it's a very straightforward. You start someplace and you want to exit for some reason, and this was the first exception, because we were just going around. The whole point was to progress through there and just see more stuff. It turns out it wasn't helpful. The family man devil stabbed an angel with no eyes and put her in a coma. And because things are so bad for the war effort, they ended up recycling her.
So it really was the feel-good story of the year.
The feel-good story of the year.
That's the thing. It's like there is enough in this game where you could have some pretty decent pathos going on.
Right.
But I don't want to wade through however many pages to get there.
There's also a fine line of making that work out too. It's kind of like how I put it to somebody who asked me what my big problem with Warhammer was, and it's like, yeah, to paraphrase, was it who was it? Like the million deaths is a statistic. It was Stalin, I think, right?
Might have been. I don't remember.
It's like, the pointless death of one psyker is a tragedy. The pointless death of 10,000 a day is a statistic.
Right.
It's like when there is peak, grimdark, at which point it is no longer interesting. It's just it's just them inflating numbers and ladling on a tragedy because apparently the writer has no other way of expressing what they want to express and getting you to care about it. And yeah, that's the thing I'm worried about. How this is going. This is early in the game to start dumping the stuff on the player.
Yeah, that is actually very true.
Mm-hmm. Confuse injector. But it had no effect.
I'm wise to their game now. Family Devil made no eyes a vegetable, which really perfectly sums up this game thus far.
Nice.
Bump him with an axe.
Oh yeah, and Mox, as you missed it earlier, it's like whichever waifu we have more points with is the one reading off how combat is going on the bottom there. It's like, yeah, for when Ben was practicing, it was the devil girl the whole time, and because he had picked, I think, neutral routes, and I guess it defaults to her if it's about the same,
Right.
you know, because she's the scientist. And then, yeah, because Lorax kept encouraging us to go with the angel, then we ended up with her. Yeah, and Mog pointed out, yeah, the thing about 40K was started off as, you know, a satirical black comedy, and the early books knew it was ridiculous, but then they started taking it seriously. Exactly, right. Yeah, I just meant the point we're at now, you know. Of course, Games Workshop isn't quite what they used to be either.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Yeah, they're chasing you down.
Fortunately, that's their mistake, because I've got Hadokens and they don't.
Ooh.
There we go.
I think it was P-Buck earlier made, or either P-Buck or Bear, I think it was, made the reference to the Reciteer dungeon.
Oh yeah.
It's like, man, I kind of want to play Reciteer now.
Yeah, it's like, you know, Reciteer is a game that kind of does this, only right, so.
And then instead of having to talk about...
And then instead of 50 pages of exposition, you get capitalism, ho!
Right. But yeah, we can talk about economics instead of whatever.
Instead of the horrors of war!
We managed to keep the stream going, you know, despite you know, it being well outside, you know, our, or at least my bailiwick.
Right.
You have plenty to talk about for writing as a fallback.
Yeah, I'll admit, that's kind of what I had to rely on.
The first named Inquisitor in the original Rogue Trader rulebook, Mog says, is Obi-Wan Sherlock Clouseau. Really? You're not pulling my leg, are you?
Sleep Ring, I think I've already got one of those.
Lorax owns Reciteer, but never played it and got it in a bundle. I got it on...
Oh, Lorax, you definitely should.
Yeah, you should. I got it on Impulse, back when it used to be the GameStop app, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. You know, Ben ended up beating it, and he beat me to it. You know, I ended up falling short on the very last week, and yeah, I ended up just not ever getting back to it.
Welp.
He is not pulling my leg. Okay. So things have changed in the decades, you're saying. And like people have said, yeah, Reciteer had about 20 minutes of intro and then turned into a good game, weirdly enough. Yeah, it's simplistic at the start, but the fact you get the different... And if you play it, if you stick with Louis the whole game, then it's going to be a very simple, you know, dungeon crawler, it's a very forgiving roguelike. I'm not sure what genre you'd call that.
Right.
I mean... because you at least get to keep one item when you're forced to retreat if you do. Of course, that's all. And of course, they also let you reload, which is what you usually do instead of forfeit a day's worth of progress.
Right.
But yeah, I really liked it, and like the fact you had to jump through some hoops sometimes to unlock the different characters and how they play a little bit differently. Like I was a big fan of Maki, even though she wasn't very good.
I remember one of my greatest regrets was that I got the Devil Guy too late to actually really make use of him.
Right. Well, that happens regardless because you can't get what's his name? I can't remember now. But yeah, I don't think he unlocks until like right at the end of the game anyway. Guess evening.
Paralyze. Paralyzer potion.
Oh my god.
Very nice.
What? Wow. Hey, yeah, she has submitted photographic proof. That's... we were talking about Reciteer, Mog. Or as a few bucks said, the Andra roguelike. Yeah. Capitalist dream. I objectively, agree. No, it's the thing about the thing I really liked about Reciteer was that it was very straightforward about the premise and how it works and everything. It's like a lot of games will kind of mess with the expectations there. It's like you're getting into the game to be this, but it's actually this, and it's like
Right.
they tell you up front it is about making money and going through dungeons. It's like if both of those things do not appeal to you, it's probably not your game.
You know?
Oh, rip, or not. Oh, you kind of stay charged up for a little bit.
Interesting.
Well,
Huh.
huh.
That's how that works. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I was wanting to do the special move, but I didn't know that you basically only had a time limit.
Ah.
Sticky nuts. Oh.
You have been. Oh dear. Okay, so there's a status you have to watch out for.
Thankfully, it should go away after a while, but
Right, right.
it's still kind of a pain. Hey, I don't need all of those. So I never got one of those.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'm no longer sealed. Hooray!
I wonder if you're eventually going to be able to upgrade your backpack or whatever. It seems like you don't have a whole lot of space right now.
We have 30,
Mm-hmm.
which normally would think would be enough, but
Yeah.
I tend to hoard a little bit.
Oh, that's true.
There. This is the last floor, so I'll just do a quick run around and see if I've got anything else to grab from it.
Right, right.
Probably not, but you never know.
Mm-hmm. You've at least gotten one level out of it. Oh, so not quite enough. Those guys are pretty durable, though.
One thing I do like, though, is that the attack bonus maintains whatever form you're in.
Very true.
Okay. I think that's good enough.
Yep.
Alright, oh, maybe... Oh, I bet this just connects.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Well, I will call that a dungeon, and I think I will call that a stream.
All right. Oh, we called it a stream a couple times already.
Yeah. Well,
we had to
you
make,
were right that it was a good time to kind of show that off.
yeah. We made, and that way we made it to an even 4 hours.
Hooray! We also upped the time with the number of dungeons that we were playing. Now I think it's a whole 45 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see how I feel about this next Sunday. Lorax is trying to convince me that he actually wants this.
Oh, yeah, actually, we have not. We've only fought one boss so far, a Mog of the 3 dungeons.
Right.
But that was a repeat though, so yeah, there might not be one.
Right. But yeah, we'll see how I'm feeling next Sunday. I
Yep.
may or may not do it.
I might play a little bit more forward.